Hello everybody, my name is Ibanthos, and welcome back to Bossframe. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, wait, hold up, there's a lot of rare mods and a lot of different things I haven't seen before in your build now. And that's because we're reaching towards the end of the star chart. And when you start reaching towards the end of the star chart, you should have some rare mods. You know, Rage is something you should have picked up, maybe even Vigor. You should have Continuity, you should have Flow, you should have all the mods that you have here once you start reaching to the bosses that I'm about to point out to you. Now, you should have them not just because you should be grinding certain places in particular to get them, but actually because they tend to show up fairly commonly in a lot of different mission types. So they're fairly universal. Beyond that, we also have some new weapons. We're going to be using the Buzzlock, and this will be our configuration for the Buzzlock. As you can see, it's not a whole bunch of rares, and I know I have a Riven for it, but I'm not going to use the Riven. But this is going to be our build for it, a good crit weapon with some pretty nasty damage, just trust me on that one. My Glass Eye is my kit gun. You should be able to use a kit gun by the time you reach the end of the star chart. You really should. I mean, if you do play on the Orbivalis, which a lot of people do, it's kind of a lower end stuff. Zaw weapons, Zaw melees are the same thing. You should have created at least one by the time you reach where I am at in the end of the star chart. If you haven't been taking the time to really play the game. You've been kind of pushing through it really fast. So this is my basic build for the Glass Eye. Now, I know I'm using a PAX thing here. The PAX I'm using is PAX Charge, so it just gives me my basically battery instead of ammo. Beyond that, I have a lot of other things that I could use, but I have chosen not to, because realistically, they make the weapon a little bit stronger than I want to aim for. Beyond that, Pistol Pestilence, you get that from fighting Corrupted Vor in the Void, which you should have done by now. Trust me, you can fight Corrupted Vor once you get to the Void the first time, which is right after you do Europa, I believe it is. I think Europa is there's an earlier one too. I think the earliest one is like Ceres. No. I think the earliest one is Ceres, and then the next one is Europa, and the last one is Sedna, which is where we're going to be heading today. So got this as a build for that, and then I've got a Jaw Sword, which you get from doing alerts. And of course it has Berserk, which is a mod that you get from farming the Infested and the Grenier, one of those two. I can't remember which one it actually is. Life Strike, which you get from doing anything on the Orbivalis. It's the most common rare mod now on the Orbivalis. Blade of Truth, which is a Syndicate mod, which you should be doing Syndicates, of course, by now as well. Focus Energy, which is one of those nightmare mods that you should have played a couple times since you should be clearing the star chart. That should be your goal, is to clear the whole star chart. And Spoiled Strike, which once again comes from Vault Runs. Beyond that, everything else is up in the air. Again, I have a Zaw for it. I'm not going to use a Zaw for it because we're not playing with Zaws. The only weapon I haven't quite upgraded yet is my Exalted Blade. Now, I really can't do any more with this. I could technically put on the Sacrificial mods because by this point you should have completed most of the storyline quests, including the Sacrifice. But because some people may have been pushing through this and not done that, I will simply just ignore that for now. Now, we'll be swapping Life Strike with Healing Return to reduce our channeling cost, and since I'm not going to be using channeling very often, that's perfectly fine for me. And Healing Return is something you pick up from doing a lot of Infested missions. It's one of those that you'll eventually pick up if you do lots of survivals with Infestation, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, Berserk, once again, it's a rare mod, but everything else is practically kosher. Let's see here. Anything I would be willing to put in there. You know, again, Virulent Strike instead of the Fever Strike would be nice, but since we don't have the room for that, we won't bother. All right, so we have our builds. Theoretically, I could change out the Taxon to something a little bit stronger, but again, actually, you know what? I am going to do something a little bit better than the Taxon. We're going to go ahead here and do... we're going to do Helios Prime. It's not going to really do much more for us, but it is going to give us a few more things. My Helios Prime has the ability for self-destruct, which on death just detonates itself. It has regen, so it revives itself once. Shield Recharger, Vacuum Guardian, Enhanced Vitality, and it will, of course, scan things for me. But meaning that by the point of that, I should probably equip some scanners in here. A lot of scanners. Alright. So, we're gonna go, we've completed this. We're heading to Sedna. So yeah, it's Phobos that goes to the Void the first time. Ceres goes to Jupiter, duh. And now we're gonna go to Sedna. And in Sedna, I'm going to explain a couple things here with Marrow. Marrow is where you fight Kela De Thaym.
Kela De Thaym. That's why you're so eager. I can appreciate that, and so does my audience.
So Kela De Thaym is the boss of Sedna Junction. Well, Sedna. And you don't have to necessarily fight her to go to the Void and finish up the rest of the star chart. But as she is a boss, and this is Bossframe, we will be attacking her. So as you can see, it says that you require judgment points. And you're like, well, how do I get those? You get those from simply doing these. If you look at this, normally it's a regular mission hijack. Sorry, there it is. You get judgment points by doing these. Nakanaki gives you the lowest level of judgment points, but it is an opening mission you don't have to spend any on. Yam, you require some, but you also get a lot more. And finally, Valvadoy takes the most amount, but also gives you the most in return. And then, of course, Marrow. So if we go do this mission here, and this is not going to be easy. I'm going to say that now. This will probably be just like with the Ambulance. It may not be possible to do by myself. I'm hoping it is, but I can't guarantee it. So once again, we should have operator mode by now. My energizing dash will of course be stronger than most people's, but one thing I recommend to most people who are playing this game right away is when you get your operator mode, get yourself Xenaruk. There goes.
Wake up, you gutsacks! The Tenno cheaters have decided to disrespect the rules of Rathum and come after me directly.
Ow.
Should I show them what we do to cheaters?
Those are always annoying to me. Alright, back to the Buzzlock. Actually, let's use the Glass Eye for now. Glass Eye is a pretty strong weapon. Look at that. Okay. Go and open this. There we go. Not the roller balls, I hate those. Alright, I think this is the correct way. Huh? Ooh, nope. As you can see, they didn't survive very long. So I have to kill a Nox. What the? That was annoying. There we go. There we go. So yes, Healing Return, Life Strike, these are all very useful talents because you're gonna want to have that energy, that life restoring effect on yourself. And of course, having justice is also quite nice. So we'll jump down here. Where are we going next? This way? This way. Alright, so we'll go ahead and swap back out to glass eye. Ooh. So yeah, if you're ever wondering how do I get through those Arctic Xmisses, that's kind of how you do it. Oh, jeez. What? Why didn't you show me the enemy? Helios! This woman has a lot of strength. My god. No, I don't want to be... No, thank you. I don't want to be struggle snuggled. There's so many enemies. This is kind of actually a little bit unique, because usually there's not this many enemies to get to Kela De Thaym. Crouch and jump up if I can just get past it. There we go. For anyone who's curious, it is all about the range on this weapon. And of course, doing as much as you can in a very short period of time. There's enemies up there. That's where I need to go. Nope. There we go. There's that guy. Here's that guy. There's that guy. There's that guy. There we go. Alright. Ooh. Hello.
I can tell you understand what an honor this will be to have your tiny neck snapped by the Kela
De Thaym. Oh, well, here we are. Here we are. Now we're getting to Kela De Thaym. Usually it's a little bit quicker than this. Okay. All the roller balls. So, and it was, you have, these panels will light up for each player in your party, and you'll have to shoot the glowing marks that will appear inside those spinny rings. If you don't, you're kind of boned, because those are important.
Snakes, you can be part of my story, but I don't think you'll like the ending.
Oh boy. Hi, Kela De Thaym. Oh, well that didn't work out so well. Keep falling. So Kela is pretty much just a slice and dice special. You have to keep attacking her as much as you can, as fast as you can. Oh boy. And then she'll call in an orbital strike. Now this the orbital strike can be deactivated by standing on the panels, like you saw previously. On each one, there'll be a glowing symbol. And if you're fast enough... Oh, that's so dumb. Nope. See, as you can see. Now, again, I believe you have to have a person on each and every one of them.
Where do you think you are? You dojo? This is Rathum.
Oh, wait, hold up. Oh, crap. Actually, it might just be that I have to hit them in sequence on all of the on just one of them. That might be the case. I hope that's the case. That would make things a heck of a lot easier. There it is. Oh, well, that's not working. Okay. So yeah, you actually do have to hit each one of them until they pop, which is a little bit frustrating. There. Now she should descend. And thanks to the Buzzlock's homing beacon... Oh, that hurt a lot. As you saw, she got some pretty heavy damage dealt to her.
You can't kill me. I'm Kela De Thaym. Damn it!
There's that one. Well, that one didn't work.
You can't kill me. I'm Kela De Thaym. Damn it!
There's that one. There's that one.
You're like a corpus drone with a dead battery. You ain't getting no airtime.
And there she is again.
Patience, Tenno. No more.
Whoa. Alright, get the same. Ow, the rockets! Red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they hurt a lot. And there we go. Oh, that's suckaroos. Okay,
Nicely done, Tenno.
there we go.
Kela in front of her audience will show all Grenier that there is another way.
As you can see, it hurt. It hurt a lot. But, that's because it hurt does not mean that it's impossible to do by yourself. It takes a lot of patience, and you better be ready to do some damn hard playing. But even using fairly minimal amounts of... Oh, that was interesting. Even using fairly minimal amounts of weaponry and damage, you can do a pretty good job. Now, again, the Buzzlock is... Ooh, what's this? Ooh. Isn't that tasty? The Buzzlock is a very useful gun in any boss's fight because it, as you can saw, when I use my middle mouse button to... Well, actually use my right mouse button to zoom in, I use my middle mouse button to tag the target. And then I could just pretty much fire from wherever and kill her. And it was fairly easy, actually. That's kind of what I'm getting at. The Buzzlock is a weapon. I believe it's a Mastery 8 weapon. Let me take a look here. Buzzlock. So the Buzzlock, by the way, that's one way you can get two weapons a lot easier. So this is a Buzzlock is 250 platinum normally. It's a Mastery Rank 11 weapon, so it's not for everyone, which I understand. Some people might not have Mastery 11 by the time they reach Kela De Thaym. It's just a very good weapon for auto-hitting her. If you don't have that, which I probably should have looked at the mastery requirements for this weapon before I chose it, any shotgun, any other weapon will easily make quick work of Kela De Thaym. Just gonna say that. Arcvasto Reactor. Sorry, I've been building things like that. It made me happy. Anyways, so yeah, if you don't have the Buzzlock, because you're not Master Rank 10 or Extra Rank 11, which I understand. Most people aren't. They're usually like 8 or 9 by the time they reach her. You can use things like the Flux Rifle, which is in the Energy Lab in the dojo. You can use the Raccoon. You can use any weapon that has either a really good damage boop, like the Arcoplasmor, or if it just has a really fast fire rate, like the Soma. You don't want to do burst fire things like the Brat unless you have a lot of damage output. You don't want to use beam weapons for the most part because they usually don't have a huge damage output unless they have a really good build on them. So that's kind of, you want something that has a very good, strong oomph to it, a good hit, or something that has a consistent moderate damage ability. Again, the Buzzlock is great for this because it can lock in and I can just turn around and run away from her while firing and it will still hit her. Anyways, so I hope you've enjoyed watching this video. If you have, please leave a comment in the comment section. Like it if you like the video a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more Bossframe. And thank you everybody so much for watching. Bye now.